G'day creative crew, what's cracking? It's Ralph here, stoked to be with you today as we look at 22 creative accessories for your tripod. Regardless of whether your tripod is one that turns upside down and floats in the ocean, a mini one like this Manfrotto one, Joby, Gorilla, or the one that we're all familiar with, the beast that we take out doing landscape. Regardless of your tripod, these accessories I think you will find most helpful for you, so stick around, it's going to be great.
Just not working. Gosh.
Oh, it's so good. So this is actually the second recording of this video. I did the first and went all the way through right to the end and realized my audio batteries had died. So this one is going to be way better than the first. And you'll never know because you never saw the first. Let's get into it. Regardless of whether you're going to put a camera, a microphone, or a light on your tripod, these different accessories can help do that with ease, because I've found as I've gone into more and more of a depth with photography and with videography, you find you need to mount stuff on tripods, and having these accessories enables you to do that with ease as well as utilize the full capabilities of your tripod. So let's start and we'll go through them, and then I'll put all the links to all this stuff in the description below. And it helps me that if you're going to buy this stuff, you buy it through my link. Hopefully it's a competitive price. That's the idea. And that way it's an affiliate link. So I get a little bit of a kickback from Amazon, not from you. And we all live happily ever after. Let's get going. Our first three cabs off the rank are feet. Most tripods, when you buy them, come with these pointy feet, I think. Yes. Let's call them pointy feet. And that's kind of what you get. There's a hole in there that you can use to tighten them should you need to, but mainly you need to tighten them to get them, or untighten them to get them off. They get stuck on. You want a little rubber on, which means the water in the ground or the water that you might put your tripod in doesn't seep into your tripod leg. That's helpful. So that's the standard that you get. Then you have the rubber ones. These are great for inside, outside, inside, outside. So you have these, they protect your floor if you're taking real estates or portraits or whatever you're doing. And then my all-time favorite, it's rugged, it's rough, it's ready for anything. I hope it's a bit like me. This is the claw feet. Yes, and these are great for if you're on rocks or potentially slippery surface. These things grip. There's a sharpness to them and they grip to the rock. And I've talked about these in some of my other videos. I love them. They're great and I'd highly recommend them. They have a waterproof seal at the bottom here rather than on the thread. All these feet are 3/8 of an inch feet. There's two thread settings you need to be aware of when you talk tripods. One is 3/8 and the other is 1/4 inch. Now I'm a metric system, so what that all equals I don't know, but I just understand this in terms of tripods. So these are 3/8 and the only other bolt or thread on a tripod that's 3/8 is the one that connects the tripod to the ball head. Tripod to the ball head, there's a 3/8 thread in there that you need to be aware of. Everything else is 1/4 inch. And why is that important? Glad you asked. We'll get there in just a jiffy. Second is this little gizmo I've talked about a fair bit on this channel because I love it. It's a bubble level that levels this way and levels that way with the two little bubbles that are in it. It's a cold shoe mount, so it sits on top and you can use it to make sure your camera's really level, or you can use a couple of other elements we'll get to in a minute to make sure your tripod is level. What? How do you do that? Glad you asked. Video at the end of this that explains all about how you get it level, because you need it level if you're going to take panoramas of a series of shots, stitch them together. Then it's handy to have a base plate. This is a Arca Swiss base plate. You have Manfrotto base plates and Arca Swiss. Arca Swiss is every other brand that's not made by Manfrotto. Manfrotto are a tripod brand that they make their own special things, and to be honest, I think it's phasing out. Like, it's just a bit old, Manfrotto. Come on, keep up with the crew. So I keep a spare one of these, and the reason I keep a spare one of these is I have an L bracket on my camera that sits there permanently, but when I want to put a zoom lens on, most zoom lenses come with their own mount, and so they need a base plate to go on that mount and attach it to the tripod. I've also got this one, but compensating for much? Next, we have this multi-tool. I've talked about this a fair bit, and these are really effective if you put a carabiner on it. They have a little blade there that can tighten the screw on the inside of your tripod. They have a Allen key there that fits most of the Allen key needs in your tripod. It can also clip on your belt or on your bag or whatever you like. And I would suggest putting a small carabiner on the end so that you can use your carabiner, and not your car key, to tighten this. Who would use their car key to tighten this? Break it. Doing a photo shoot of Carabiner Rock. I don't know, that's what I've heard anyway. Okay, let me talk about these 5 little cool accessories. If you sometimes need to take a 3/8 of an inch and make it into a 1/4 inch, you need something like this to do that. If you want to take a 3/8 of an inch and turn it into a 1/4 inch, you do it like that. If you need to take a female 3/8 and turn it into a 1/4 inch female, you do it like that. These cool little accessories that I'll link below, you can get them all sort of in a pack, but they enable you to change thread, female and male thread, to give you all sorts of versatility with your tripod mounts and how you might use them. Very, very handy. And then this one is a female to female. And the reason this is handy is you might say, I want to mount my audio recorder on a small tripod so it can sit there just out of camera but capture all the audio. And it doesn't work because it's a 3/8 of an inch and this is a 1/4 inch. And you can use these different accessories that enable you to mount things on other things that otherwise cannot work together when you think it should be able to work together, because I just need to mount this in order to do that. So mounting lights on tripods, these little accessories have been gold. Now, to move that a step further, I found that these 3 little contraptions, plus this, have been really helpful. This goes on the top of a light stand, and usually the flash umbrella goes through here, and I use a cold shoe mount. Difference between cold shoe and hot shoe mounts is hot shoe is when there's electricity going to it, so your camera has a hot shoe, everything else is a cold shoe. Female, cold shoe, male, cold shoe. And basically you put this on your light stand. It's 3/8 of an inch that plugs on there, and you can change this. Now, last night I needed to mount a microphone, and so I used this. I took the cold shoe off, I plugged the microphone straight onto it, and I could point it in any direction I wanted by using this to do it. So I went this into that, I went a female to female into that, and I could plug it straight onto a microphone like that. And you see how it's working together? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's working together. It's all these components that don't come together, they don't belong together, but they can work together. A bit like humanity, right? Sometimes we don't feel like we belong with other people, but we can work with them and create something beautiful as a result. That's what this is. I'm not sure what it's called, like a flash arm, a mounting bracket. I will have to do some research, but I will put a link in the description below for you. Cold shoe, really, really helpful. And also this little jam, this came with my Sakani light, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but this enables you to put a light or a microphone on top and point it in any direction you like, and then there's a cold shoe mount, so it mounts straight onto your camera, so you can have it sitting there. Now you may say, I don't want it on my camera, I want it on a tripod. What? Here's the cold shoe mount, and so you just stick it on that, and then it can go on your tripod, right? You're getting the gist of where we're headed with this. So it's enabling your creativity to flourish, and that's what this channel is about. It's about your creativity flourishing. And if you want to see more of it, there's videos on Tuesday mornings and Saturday mornings, and you can join the creative crew by subscribing below. I'm not done, just doing a bit of a plug. Don't head off. And you can shout me a coffee if you like to. Now this is a phone holder, gold. It has a female 1/4 inch plug there, through there, and I use this all the time to mount my phone. And you can actually then mount your phone on top of your camera while you're taking a shot, so you can video, which I may have done, may not have too, but I may have done with some fireworks that we found some people setting off in a particular tunnel. And I was able to film the whole thing whilst shooting the whole thing at the same time without having to worry, because I put my camera on top. You can also attach the phone thing to a tripod and bang off a time lapse. It's dead easy on your phone, so make the most of your phone. There's heaps of these. I got the little one that tucks in, and so it just hardly takes up any room. Very light and handy. If you have an action camera of any description, you need these two things. First of all, you need a tripod mount, and the camera goes on here, and we're not talking about all the accessories that go with GoPro and so forth, tripod mounts. But the other thing you need is one of these that allows you to plug it in, but it has the wings on it, and that enables you to access and get into it and get out of it easy, because sometimes if you have the little thing, it locks in, you can't get it undone, you can't fit your fingers in there between the camera that sits here and the tripod that sits here. So that has been really, really helpful. Let's talk about these magic arms. These are clamps. This clamps to your tripod leg and enables a monitor or a microphone or a audio device to be seen right next to your camera. So while you're filming, you can have that sitting right there. That's how I've done my audio, and how when I got to this point of the video last time, I looked at my audio and realized it was completely dead. It clamps on, this screws into the top of a clamp and clamps on, and then you get it exactly the sort of space you want it, and you can have it go in any way, shape or form. You just tighten this up. I'm not doing this really well, am I? You just tighten this up and it stays. It stays. So I can have it like this with the thing sitting that way, and any other configuration. So you basically put your thing on, you clamp it on, you put it exactly where you want it, and you tighten it up, and you're in the money. We're nearly there. Couple more things. Most tripods underneath come with a female thread where you can plug in something, and if they're not there, they can sometimes sit on the side. This one also has another one on the side. Now, why is that important? Well, one, you can use these different things to attach other things to your tripod directly if you want them there. So you can be shooting a sunset or astro with your camera, and you can stick your phone on the side and shoot a time lapse of what you're actually shooting as well. However, sometimes you go out and it's super windy and your tripod's actually shifting and it's causing your shot to be rubbish. And so what you do is you have a little attachment like this, and this screws into the bottom of your tripod and gives you a carabiner. And then to your carabiner, you take this homemade thing. I got this from a local hardware store and sort of built it. And what happens is you hook it in there, and then you put that on your camera bag, and it holds the ball head in your tripod down, gives it downward pressure so that it's not being buffeted around in the wind, or there might be other scenarios where there are other factors moving your camera around and you want to just anchor it. This thing, come on, that's the way to anchor it, folks. It's good to have one of these. I have these at home, and if I look out the weather, I'm like, I'm going out to shoot, but it's a filthy day, I grab this. It's really helpful. And then finally is this little contraption. So this goes on top of your tripod, and it leverages out. So I can spin it round, and I can put the tripod at any angle I want, and I tighten it up here, and it's got a level on it, but basically it means I have more versatility over the direction my camera can face and angles it can get into, because it can pull it out from your camera and you can face it down. For example, if you want to take a top down on a table, if you're doing food photography or product photography or something like that. I'll find a link in the description for this and for you to use it. And as you'll notice, on most gimbals and most things like this, you have a 3/8, so you can plug it straight into your tripod, or a 1/4 inch, so you can plug it onto the base plate that sits on top of the ball head on your tripod. Wow, we're there. I'm out of breath. I hope this has helped. There's heaps of stuff for you to get. Maybe this narrows it down to what's maybe worthwhile getting after someone that's taken a lot of purchases and screwed a lot of money, because just not. just didn't know as much as I know now. So hopefully you can benefit from that. Subscribe, like, do all the things, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. No, what's it called? Mount. It's 3/4 eighths, 3/8 of an inch. Ugh.